Sup, my boys? You already know who it is. First video on the channel. I'm here with my boys' sons. I'm GOAT,
Yeah, I'm Song.
doing 3 underdog teams in the NFL that could make the playoffs.
For number 3, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, looking at their schedule, they do have some tough games. I mean, they're in the same division with the Steelers, and with history, they could win one of those two. Most likely not both of the two, however. Week 3, they are at Lambeau. It's very difficult to win at Lambeau, so I think that should be a loss. Um, there are some other games that are a bit iffy, like at Titans could go either way. At Broncos could also go either way. Um, at Vikings, I have one of the Ravens games also as a bit of an iffy one, but I roughly think that they will go 9-7. Um, maybe 8-8 or 10-6, but most likely 9-7 is what I'm saying, because they do have a semi-difficult schedule. Like I said, they're in the same division with the Steelers. They're going to Lambeau. Then they face the AFC South, which does have a few teams that might give them a bit of trouble. And they face the NFC North, which they play the Lions, the Vikings. Um, so yeah, I think around 9-7, they would be a wild card team. I don't see them beating the division against Pittsburgh anytime soon unless some major injuries happen in Pittsburgh or suspensions or whatever. I just don't think that the Bengals have the depth chart to go first in the division, but they could very easily pull maybe a sixth spot in the whole conference, maybe fifth. But yeah, that's how I feel on the Bengals at number 3. Pretty good teams, and they're in a semi-difficult division, uh, mainly with the Vikings and the Packers. Um, they do face some other hard teams like the Steelers, like the Giants, like the Cardinals. Um, the rest of their schedule is with not really the best teams. Some examples are the Browns, the Saints, um, the Panthers, the Bears, which if they lose a game to the Bears, it's kind of gonna be disappointing, honestly. But I have them going at the record of roughly 10-6, maybe 9-7, but most likely 10-6. Um, the fact if they get first in the division, I don't think so. I think Green Bay has that number 1 spot in the division pretty secure, unless like with number 3, the same thing happens with injuries. Now, they do have from what I know of at least, a stronger depth chart than the Bengals. Like, they have uh, an amazing quarterback with Matthew Stafford. They have a pretty decent running game, I'm pretty sure. I think the main problem last year was protecting the quarterback. So, if that is the case again, then I hope that they have some better linemen on that point. And from what I know of, they have a pretty okay defense. Not the best in the league, not Super Bowl contender, but good enough that they could definitely get in the playoffs, being under the radar like they are. So Lions 10-6, roughly, maybe 9-7.
All right, number one on this list, Arizona Cardinals. I got two records for them. Two things they can either do. My projected record is 11-5, but the Cardinals could go 9-7. Now here's what I mean. With their normal schedule, I have them winning a lot of their games, but I have them going 11-5. I could see them drop into two games. One, week 16, they're at home. But I could see them losing to the Giants. Another game, I could see them easily losing week 2 in Indianapolis, but I do have them getting a win. I'm getting a win week 1 against Detroit. Um, I have them losing at Houston. That's going to be a bit of an upset win for Houston, but I think they'll be pretty strong throughout the season. I'll, there's a little bit of cons here on Cardinals. Really, there's only one big one. That's quarterback position. Carson Palmer has not been able to stay healthy over the past few years. Like we saw in 2014, they went to the playoffs, but Carson Palmer got injured, so they lost. 2 years ago, they went 13-3. Uh, they ended up losing the NFC Championship to a superior Panthers team. Last year, 7-8-1. Carson Palmer, I believe he was down with an injury. I think last year was a little bit of a fluke. I think they will rebound. Um, you know, Carson Palmer, he has to step up. If not, Blaine Gabbert has to. They got Drew Stanton as their third string, but I think Blaine Gabbert has to start. He will be the star quarterback. Carson Palmer's days are numbered. Um, you also have David Johnson, extremely good running back. He did really well last year, even though the poor record on the team. I feel like he will step up. Same with Chris Johnson. You have Larry Fitzgerald. You have plenty of good receivers, so you don't have to worry about them. These are all pros I'm talking about now. They have a really good defense. They just got to keep doing what they're doing. Um, Blaine Gabbert has to be their starter if they want to go anywhere. Past 5 years, they've been really good. 5-11, not so good. Then they went 10-6, 11-5, then 13-3. Then they dropped down to 7-8-1. They got to keep that consistent 3 year gap of 10-6, 11-5, and 13-3 if they want to go anywhere. I have them going 11-5. It should be very, very easy with them as long as they stay healthy. If they start getting injuries, this will be the downfall of the team. Back to the schedule. Some losses I have them losing at home to Tampa Bay. I see Tampa Bay squeezing out the win there. They could win that game too. Um, I have them losing to the Rams in Los Angeles. I have them losing at Seattle. But other than that, I have them picking up some easy wins. Their schedule really is not that tough. I mean, here are some easy games: at home against Dallas, at Philly, um, at home against Jacksonville. A tough game at home against Tennessee. Another easy game at San Francisco, at home against San Francisco. Um, but yeah, 11-5 is what I got them going, and with that, that wraps up our list, and we'll see you next time.